Hi there. This is for our class for Thursday, the 7th of April, where we are transitioning from A Midsummer Night's Dream to A Raisin in the Sun. You'll see in the notes below I have a link where you can find the text because A Raisin in the Sun is not included in our textbook, though I did order it as a separate text, a paperback text. But if you can't access that, there's a link below where you can access it online. And you can see that we are headed towards the ending of our drama unit when we are done with A Raisin in the Sun. So some due dates. Journal number 2 on drama will be due on the 21st. The idea behind the journal is that you'll duplicate what you did previously with journal number 1, that you will write about a page or so response, in this instance, to each of the 3 major dramas that we've discussed. So about a page for Oedipus the King, about a page for Midsummer Night's Dream, and then finally a page for A Raisin in the Sun. And I evaluate not for grammar or mechanics, but for content, as if we're having conversation on paper. And we'll grade that on a checkmark system. I ask that you submit that into my email, ruiz@gcc.mass.edu. And then I will return that back to you, and hopefully the journals will help inform how you could proceed with your paper. And paper number 2, which is going to be on drama, will be due on the 5th of May, which is a Thursday. And you'll notice that paper topics are in the syllabus and other documents folder, as I had discussed in the previous class. So in terms of Raisin in the Sun, I wanted us to watch a performance as well. And the Sidney Poitier version of A Raisin in the Sun is considered to be the definitive version because the playwright, Lorraine Hansberry, worked very closely on the film. And many, if not most, of the actors who were involved in the stage play are involved in the film. And some of the things that I wanted you to consider are the importance of names in this play, as well as light and dark. Note that the play is based on a poem. What happens to a dream deferred is the first line, and the idea of dreams is going to be very important. And the poem itself references A Raisin in the Sun. Hansberry, 29 years old, was the youngest American, the 5th woman, and the first Black playwright to win the Best Play of the Year award from the New York Drama Critics. Became an instant classic because lots of people can connect to the idea of unrealized dreams, though the focus of the play happens to be on a Black family and the discrimination they face. And unfortunately, Lorraine Hansberry died young at 34 of cancer. So I suspect that if she had lived, she'd have quite a prolific body of work. But nevertheless, this is still an exceptional play, even if it isn't followed by other pieces by Hansberry. And one thing to consider, this family is bickering about how to spend $10,000, as you will see. And this play and its film version is in the late 1950s. In 1959, $10,000 would be the equivalent of $97,497 in 2022. Just to give you an idea of the magnitude of the amount of money that they are discussing. Though that's not to say that $10,000 isn't a significant sum in today's world, but certainly $97,000 is a much more significant sum. So the Sidney Poitier version. Now, part of the difficulty with this particular version is copyright. So I was able to find a version that you could access for free, but you need to do it through Facebook, and I'm not quite sure if you're comfortable doing so, but you can see that the link is below, and I thought that you could watch the first piece of the play. If it turns out that you aren't comfortable going onto Facebook, you are certainly encouraged to watch another version of the play because there are quite a few out there. On YouTube, you can find a version with Danny Glover, for instance, that was done for the anniversary in the late 1980s. But again, if you're looking for the definitive version of A Raisin in the Sun, I definitely encourage you to watch the Sidney Poitier version, whether you watch it through that free Facebook link I was able to find online, or you find a way to access it, renting it, let's say through Amazon. But I do want you to watch a performance, and the idea behind today's attendance question is based on performance. And that'll be due on Saturday, the 9th at 10 a.m. Based on the performance that you viewed, which is your favorite character in A Raisin in the Sun and why? Of course, remembering that a performance is never a substitute for reading the play, but obviously an actor's interpretation has a great deal to do with one's connection with the character. So, since I'm having you watch the first part of the play, approximately 1 hour and 6 minutes, I'm keeping this video short. I believe you will enjoy A Raisin in the Sun. I certainly hope so. I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well. And we will continue on next class, putting some closure onto performance for A Raisin in the Sun. Take care. Bye-bye.